evening and welcome to today's news bulletin. I'm Zandile Mpapane, recapping stories making headlines. ESWATINI joined the rest of the world in commemorating the Africa Civil Registration Day. The small claims court is now operating in the Kingdom of ESWATINI. A 5-year-old is said to have accidentally burnt a house at Gahlati. The news in detail. ESWATINI today joined the rest of the world in commemorating the Africa Civil Registration Day today at the Happy Valley Hotel in ESWATINI. The representatives of the Minister for Home Affairs, the Principal Secretary, stated that the Minister emphasized the importance of registration in the Kingdom. A full report follows. Today, the Kingdom of ESWATINI, under the Ministry of Home Affairs, joined Africa in the commemoration of Africa Civil Registration Day in an event that was held at the Happy Valley Hotel under strict COVID-19 regulations. The continent commemorates the day in the midst of COVID-19 pandemic under the priority theme, Leadership for an Essential Service, Building Resilient Civil Registration and Vital Statistics System in Africa post-COVID-19 through innovative, integrated and decentralized services. The Principal Secretary in the Ministry, Mr. Nhlanhla Nxumalo, who was representing the Minister of Home Affairs, stated that the Kingdom of ESWATINI has been in the process of upgrading the civil registration systems for the Kingdom to promote faster and better registration of citizens.
About the importance of making everyone visible in Africa through a well-functioning civil registration and vital statistics system, covering the entire population and all vital events occurring in any of our countries in Africa. Such a system is key to Africa's 2063 agenda and in moving Africa towards attaining of Agenda 2030 on the Sustainable Development Goals.
Mr. Ruben Sahabo, who is the ICAP country director, also stated that an assessment process that has been undertaken by the country is also going to assist especially people in the Kingdom of ESWATINI be registered as a whole.
Home Affairs, the Ministry of Health and other stakeholders in conducting assessment that helped to understand barriers to birth registration and how existing health information system is structured to support birth registration in the Kingdom of ESWATINI.
Yemaswati, who is the Director of Statistics, encouraged Yemaswati to all come in their numbers and ensure that they get registered, and especially new mothers of newborn babies to utilize the Hospital Home Affairs Birth Certificate Registration Program.
We have also ensured that all areas stakeholders within government and outside are coordinated and are they fully participate in these initiatives.
I'm Kanyisiwe Mabuza for Channel Yemaswati News. The Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Vusima Kakula, during an interview with our reporters, confirmed that over 35,000 teachers were vaccinated for COVID-19. A full report follows. Since His Majesty started a program of vaccinating teachers last week, Channel Yemaswati reporters spoke to the Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Simon Zwane, to find out the progress and actually how many teachers vaccinated. He stated that the ministry is still putting together the statistics, but teachers and education staff that vaccinated surpassed 35,000.
Labasebenta kanye noma labasebenta kule sector yaka education kungaba ngilabasebenta etikolweni kanjalo. Umsebenzi lesicabanga ukuthi uhambe kahle kakhulu, sibone lisasasa lelikhulu beta eTemaswati atojova. Yebo ke lecaleni kwaba khona tihibe lapha nalapha, kodwa nje sibonga kubambisana lesikhanze kusetulu kakhulu phakathi kwethu silitiko letempilo, sisebenta through luhlangothi lwethu lwaka schools health, basebenta umsebenzi lomatima kakhulu. Sasebenta futhi sibambisene naSNAT inhlangano yabothishela. Siyabonga kakhulu, sibone kubambisana lokhu sezingeni lelisetulu bawusekela lo msebenzi.
The Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Vusima Kakula,
about 35,000. Sisake ngikuthi analyze ukuthi bobani laba lokutawusinika inombolo kumbe lecondzile ukuthi bothishela noma-ke ma-educators abengaka lajovile basenda leyo analysis leyo, kodwa nje tinombolo cha njengoba sibona titsathutu tinombolo abantu lasebajovile last week kuphela nje sibona umsebenzi omkhulu kakhulu.
Dr. Zwane also explained the medical term of medical reasons which offer constraints when it comes to people having to get their vaccine.
Umuntu lonesifo tsite noma-ke lotisola ukuthi unekugula tsite noma logulako ngaleso sikhathi afuna ukujova siye sithi vele kukahle ukuthi aqale athole kululekwa kahle betempilo ukuthi hayi ungajova noma cha asewume kujova kumkhathi ke eta sitomjova siye sisho njalo nje sisho njalo ukuthi ngakwati kwethu kude necessarily i-medical condition lemncabela ukuthi umuntu angajova, kodwa ke kuye uthi ngalokuthi nabe ikhona i-condition lengaletha bungoti athole ke proper assessment ngabo betempilo batase bamnika ke.
Zwane concluded by urging all people to vaccinate and then stated that if you have tested COVID-19 positive, you can wait until 2 to 4 weeks after recovering before you can get the vaccine. I'm Kanyisile Mabuza for Channel Yemaswati News with Kimberly Mavuso in Babane.
Residents of Dwalile today expressed their joy following the fact that a 2.4 million community hall is now complete in the area. They mentioned that they are now all ready to host events inside the community hall.
The community hall of Dwalile Umphakathi in the Manzini region and the Manzini North costed 2.4 million emalangeni. According to Buchopo of Dwalile Umphakathi and the Manzini North, Mrs. Mamane Sugati said they are grateful for the community hall and they are expecting to generate income through rentals of the hall.
Libite hulumende wethu 2.7 million nemasendi ke ngaphandle. Iplani ke lesinayo ngaleli hola yokuthi imishado sirentise sicashise bemishado betinkonzo noma ngabe ngikuphi lokufunwa sive bete batocasha kuze kuthi le mali lesitayithola la isichubekele isendele lamanye ama projects alomphakathi njengalo sathi ukuthi kufuneka bo 10% mhlawumbe ngalelinye ilanga siyudinga na 10% siyawudinga ukuthi sitendele iproject mayincanyanyana ngale mali letabe iqhamuka la kungako sithi singathokota ukuthi bonke labanemsebenzi lethide bavumelekile likomiti lethu liyaqashisa kuleli hola.
The member of parliament of Manzini North, Mr. Mahfoud Sibanze, applauded the other Buchopo of Manzini North who worked tirelessly together with the Buchopo of Dwalile in building of the community hall of Dwalile.
They are joy following the fact that a 2.4 million community hall is now complete in the area. They mentioned that they are now all ready to host events inside the community hall.
This is a sign of cooperation ngokuthi masingabambisana kanje unyendi lesingachieve abahlonishwa.
Mapalane wemphakathi wasedwalile umnumzane Wilson Shongwe ubongele yona ke indlunkulu ukuthi kude ke intuthuko kubo. Wabonga nayo ke inkundla ukuthi imukele isicelo sabo ke nabethu abancincotha bacela leli hola ke la kanokusho.
Sicela ukuthi mhlale nathi ukuthi siyabonga kakhulu ukwendile nisebenzisa imember yenu lengubuchopho. Sacela ukuthi sicela into lenjengale nasendela ngaphandle nje kwenkinga lokuthi kukhona phela ngathi kwaba khona nathi tahulumeni dabo 10% sakwenda badikila abanye selo siyabahambela uyamadumo okukhulu and now ubona
for Yemaswati channel Carlos Manzini.
Hundreds from the business community showed up today in Manzini as the COVID-19 vaccination program continues. A full report follows.
Fields and professions in Manzini, where people from different fields and professions were being vaccinated, including pastors. We spoke to Pastor John Mama from Begelweni Free Evangelical Assemblies, who said it is very important for the congregants to come in their numbers for vaccination.
iBhayibheli liyasitshela ngendzaba yokunango liyasitshela ngendzaba yekuvikela liyasitshela ngendzaba yokuthandaza siyathandaza siyamkholwa uNkulunkulu ukuthi uyaphilisa ungumvikeli wethu kodwa-ke uhulumende naye unemsebenzi wokuvikela isizwe sakhe lokhu kwamoya inyama kufanele siyivikele nangabe mhlawumbe uthi ungumbukeli noma-ke ungulomunye umuntu uthi sesaba kufa cha nangabe wena ungawesabi kufa akuthi uphose emgwaqweni sibone ukuthi cha awukwesabi kufa uyahamba kodwa sine-duty ezithine labahamba phambili sibaholi yokuthi sitshengise kokuthi siyamlalela uhulumende.
For Yemaswati channel, I'm Carlos Manzini.
The registrar in the High Court, CP Ward Masugu, today during an interview with our reporters in Babane at the High Court, confirmed that small claims courts are now operating in the kingdom. A full report follows.
On the 29th of July 2021, the Chief Justice, Bheki Maphalala, officially launched the operation of the small claims courts. Today, Channel Yemaswati conducted an interview with the registrar of the High Court, Siphiwo Masugu, who stated that it is important that people take use of these courts because not only are they made to also reduce the backlog of cases for magistrate courts and the High Court respectively, but they are also made to assist Yemaswati in their conflicts of money-related issues ranging from 1 lilangeni to 20,000 emalangeni. Masugu also stated that it is not only monetary related, but also property that amounts to the same amount are also addressed.
Launched on the 29th day of July 2021 by His Lordship Honorable Chief Justice. The small claims courts are courts that are going to be deliberating or working on issues, civil cases, situated in all the 4 regions of Swaziland. That is where members of the public can go currently to go and access small claims courts. What the small claims courts are going to be dealing with are civil cases, particularly issues where members of the public owe each other monies between 1 emalangeni and 20,000 rands emalangeni. This then means that anyone that is owed not only money, it's not only the money, but it can also be goods amounting within the 20,000 emalangeni. Those people are free to approach the small claims courts and seek redress from such courts.
The courts are available at all magistrate courts in the Kingdom of Eswatini in all 4 regions. There is one in Pikspik, Babane, Nhlangano, Sitegi, and Manzini respectively. I am Khanyisile Mabusa for Channel Yemaswati News with Zandile Mpapane in Babane.
Private investigator Mr. Hunter Shongwe today stated that he is overjoyed and further expressed his heartfelt gratitude to their Majesties and the Chief Justice for making sure that small claims courts are now operating in the kingdom. He mentioned that this will make work easy for private investigators in the kingdom as well as Yemaswati. A full report follows. Private investigator Mr. Hunter Shongwe today applauded His Majesty and Chief Justice for providing Yemaswati with small-scale courts, which is a platform whereby issues of people owing each other money that does not exceed to 20,000 emalangeni in the Kingdom of Eswatini. Mr. Shongwe stated that this new strategy will present a smooth working environment, especially to private investigators.
Kakhulu mina ngikhuthali bayethe kulandzela kokuthi imbube yemhlaba isebente umsebenzi lomhle na Chief Justice kwekuthi babonisane. Ngitawuthi bekunene live limeka kabuqayi ngetindzaba tekubolekana nekubolekisa nekuboleka.
He concluded by saying, now that this platform has been presented to Yemaswati, work will be easier, especially for private investigators and Yemaswati who are owed money that is less than 20,000 emalangeni.
Ngikhuthali bayethe impela nangisho njalo kuye lo mutse lokuthi asukumise lenkantolo abambisane na Chief Justice. Loko ngithi lovisi lami litawusitakala kakhulu, bantu benkosi batawusitakala. Sizathu bantu baboleka imali bese bantu abasakhoni kuyibhadala.
I am Zandile Mpapane for Channel Yemaswati News with Mxolisi Mavuso Mvuchini.
Welcome to Price Right Cash and Carry. We open every day. We offer a wide range of products for catering and hospitality services. For quotations, contact us on 2505 8888 or send us an email pricerightcnc@swazi.net. Find us in Manzini next to Salesian High School, Old Metro Building. We also have big parking space. Price Right Cash and Carry.
Sihombe sesithafu se-COVID sasivele silapha eSwatini. Linani lebantfu lasebabanjwe ngule COVID-19 Delta variant likhula ngendlela lefusako eveni. I-COVID-19 Delta variant yona yehlukahlukile, ayikhwehlelisani futhi ayibangelani ifever noma kushisa kwemtimba ngalokwecile. Uma uva kubuhlungu emalungu, uva uphethwe yinhloko, kukhenketha kwentamo, uphelelwa ngemandla noma ungafuni kudla, ungathalalisi, phophuma uyohlola ukuthi akusiyo yini na i-COVID-19 ingaze ikulalise phasi. Kude uvikeleke nawe uvikele labanye, gcoka sifonyo, geza tandla njalo ngesipho nemandi ilageledako. Gcina umkhathi uma usebamvini, asikwende konke. Mgcini wesive, ungapheli manje, i-COVID ingakapheli.
Umthi wehlahla temvelo awusetshenziswa kusukela ndulo kusita kwelaphatifo nekuhlala uphilile. I-Dubs Herbal Shop ithengisa lonke uhlobo lemithi yehlahla temvelo. Sekusikhathi lesithi solo Dubs athengisa lemithi lesita kwelapheni tifo letfaka ikhatsi, libhande, emajiji, sidliso, tifo telicansi, uhlungu besifazane emabaya emfuleni, tilonza esiswini, lokubuyisa imandla kubobabe, umhlume kanye naletinye letinyendi. Uma sozame konke wehluleka, vakashela titolo tethu kaManzini, eMbabane, eNhlangano kanye nasesimunyu tothola lusido. Kwati kabandi shayele ku 2505 4806 7602 6422 2505 2028 noma usithumelele umlayeto ku-email info@dubsgroup.com. Dubs Herbal Shop. Herbal is health. Herbal is life.
Welcome back. It's still tuned in at Yemaswati channel. I am Zandile Mpapane. We shall continue with our bulletin. Different organizations in the kingdom which are all about the welfare of women and children and men were gathered at the Hilton Garden Inn in Mbabane. They discussed ways to make sure that Yemaswati are educated about the different types of abuse, the Sexual Offences and Domestic Violence Act of 2018, and that women should be appointed in higher positions in the Kingdom of Eswatini. A full report follows.
The program, which is funded by the European Union, is aimed at addressing the issue of women's rights, gender equality, participation and equal representation in Eswatini. The event was held at the Hilton Garden Inn, and it was also aimed at cooperating the media with organizations such as Women in Low Southern Africa, SWAGA, and Waka and Vota respectively, in terms of educating journalists on how to report, as well as raise awareness about the different types of abuse in the country. It also tackles the Sexual Offences and Domestic Violence Act of 2018, which was passed to protect both women and men. SWAGA Director, Mrs. Nonhlanhla Dlamini, described in detail the types of abuse.
And why we call it gender-based violence, it's because this violence happened because there is an element of power. And power comes in many forms. It could be physical power, and we know when even the female has power over physical power over the man, they would also tend to abuse the men. We've seen such cases coming in at SWAGA, where the wife would be the one that is actually beating the woman, the man. But in our statistics, it's mostly men that beat women.
Women in Low Southern Africa Director Mr. Zagele Hlatshwago put emphasis on the importance of gender equality and further explained the 24-month project that will be implemented in 10 communities in the kingdom under the Manzini and Lubombo region. Kwakayindvota Director Mr. Tom Churchard stated that a study about how much knowledge Yemaswati have on the Sexual Offences and Domestic Violence Act was conducted by the organization, and rural areas were also included.
The pertinent findings of the study that I wanted to address with us today are this. It seems to be a direct correlation between the knowledge of the SODVA amongst the general public and the opinion of the SODVA amongst the general public.
The media was also implored to urge Yemaswati to get educated on the act and also just in general make sure that they also fight against abuse of any form. I'm Kanyisile Mabuza with Sandile Mbabane for Channel Yemaswati News in Mbabane.
A 5-year-old is said to have burnt down a 3-bedroom house at Kahlatsi under the Shiselweni region. Everything was burnt down to ashes, according to our sources, during an interview with our reporters.
According to Coco Middleton of Sibetamoya in Kahlatsi, she is saying that the one of her grandchild, who is 5 years old, might have caused the fire, which burnt down a 3-room house. And she said that everything that was inside the house was burnt down, including school uniforms and books for the 2 children that were staying inside the house.
Lolongane kwabantwana nakwemtukulu lokungane naku kutabangani bako bangena la kulala labafana khona solongiyamemeta nje ngithi yeni nenentani lapho yeni nenentani phumani lapho nalokunuka kwentutha ngikakuva mina ngoba bengicela sisitofu ngoba ngale kitchen basesitofu ngibone ngelangabi nje seningena le kitchen ngathi bangithi ngiyaphuma ngithi ngofuna emanti ngihlaba inyanza leyo kuthi usho umuntu lenginaye nje lakha noma sidanzanyana ngaye empompini kude emanti kulahleke lisondvo.
Sondvo lani?
Lisondvo lokuvula emanti. Bushe yonke uniform netincosi tesikolo, netimpahla tabo nje tekugcoka, netingubo tekulala, netipontshi nabo mattress babo.
Mage Mabuza, who is a neighbor to Gogo Middleton, is pleading with the nation to come forth in assisting the Middleton family, especially with books and clothes.
Kushe konke bantwana banayo uniform esikolweni imibhedze netingubo konke nje kushilo njengoba niyibona lendlu lena sicela Nkosi yami lo nelisito amane asite ashayile le nombolo lasayishilo gogo ngoba gogo uhlane batukulu bakhe kude lomnye lahlala naye washonelwa ngibabe lakhaya
ingabangana labantwana makhe
labantwana lo munye una 13 years. 16 years.
Anyone who's willing to help Gogo Middleton and her grandchildren can contact the number 7687-1448, 7687-1448. For Yemaswati Channel, I'm Kerry Carlos with Justice Lamini, Sibetamoya, Kahlatsi.
A statement from Mr. Machahonge Mgomedulu, the board chairman of Eswatini Epilepsy, confirmed that the director for Eswatini Epilepsy, Mr. Mbusomuni Mahlalela, is late. A full report follows. The Eswatini Epilepsy Organization, in a statement, confirmed the demise of Mr. Mbusomuni Eric Mahlalela. The organization, in a statement, announced that Mahlalela was the founder. The Eswatini Epilepsy Organization, in a statement from the board chairman, announced that Mr. Mbusomuni Eric Mahlalela, who was the Eswatini Epilepsy Organization executive director, is late. A statement from the board chairman stated that Mahlalela passed away on the 8th of August, which is Sunday, while receiving treatment at the Look Commission. The statement stated that this resulted in a reduced stigma and discrimination while ensuring that treatment and care for people living with epilepsy in the kingdom is improved. His work was guided by the principle of making epilepsy a health priority. Through his hard work, the statement confirmed that the organization is also recognized internationally as it is a member of the International International Bureau of Epilepsy, IBE, and the International League Against Epilepsy. The board chairman in a statement stated that on behalf of the organization's patron, board members and directors and the staff of the organization, he extended his deepest sympathy for the loss to Mahlalela's family and people living with epilepsy in the country and beyond. He stated that he is thankful to Mahlalela's family for giving Yemaswati such a man and further supporting his work, which he passionately did. This is a statement from Mr. Majahonge Mngomezulu, the board chairman of ESWATINI Epilepsy Organization, and I am Zandile Mpapane reporting for Channel Yemaswati News in Koyoyo. Following the increasing number of COVID-19 cases in the Kingdom of Eswatini, Bishop Samson Hlachago today urged pastors from different churches to adhere to COVID-19 regulations. A full report follows.
Following the regulations that were put in place to fight against the spread of COVID-19, especially when it comes to night vigils, and also funeral regulations, Channel Yemaswati conducted an interview with Bishop Samson Hlachago, who is the president of the League of African Churches. Hlachago stated that people should ensure that they keep an eye, especially pastors in the communities, that people are adhering to the COVID-19 regulations, because too many people are getting infected with COVID-19 and also passing away these days.
Jabulile mabuza ngambi imgcwabo lelisantanyana kulokulamala uba kuyashaya ngibonga lemndeni la bengihamba khona emgcwabeni lesidumbu besifike ekseni sime lapha singangeni la khaya banjwe lenkonzo kwento tonke etikhuluma bese sokuyanjwa kwemathuneni ukhona konke kuyasanitizwa kugezwa tandla emama kusasemlonyeni noma bahlabela ayiphumi la mlonyeni ngiko lesekugcizelela ukuthi akuvele kuhambe kanjalo lokhu nje kuthi nje umthetho awushaywa ngimi uyawushaya umuntu ushangulende ngabe kuyaphela lokuthi kuthiwe ingozi ingena nga4 ekuseni asibuyele itolo lena nje inkokhola la ngiyekhona nje ingozi yangena nga9 ngicala nganani ngicala half-past 9 lo muntu wefike ekuseni yasashayile 9 wefike emalapha lokho siyagcizelela lokho awubangela ukuthi kubetele emlindeni kodwa na utathi ingozi ngena nga4 velela kanjani batawudala abantu batolala la khaya lokho ngiyacela nje kwemabandleni uma mabandla la ngalungisa lokho ukuthi bathulungiselele ukuthi vele lo mngcwabo ungabe sebusuku bese kuseni hayi umuntu wesuke nje sokushayela u5 nangabe uya kulo mngcwabo efika khanje umngcwabo makacala lokho siyagcizelela kakhulu indlela ovele siyagcizelela nalokho solokuthandaza labantu solokude kuvaliwe nalokuthi abantu bashaya isigugu solokuvaliwe siyacela emakholwa alalele kubi mbamba nakufa nje ukuthi 17 ngelanga linye bafile simaswathi sibancane kakhulu imbuthano vele ngishoke nalemhlangano lehle ibanjwa imhlangano vele ase-ime.
Hlachago concluded by saying that pastors should also ensure that they get their vaccines from the various places in the Kingdom of Eswatini and work together in fighting the spread of COVID-19, and not to forget the basic protocols of fighting against the spread. I'm Kanyisile Mabuza for Channel Yemaswati News with Kimberly
number of
Mabuzo.
COVID-19 cases in the Kingdom of Eswatini. Well, that's all the news we had for tonight, but before ending tonight's bulletin, let's take a recap of the stories which made headlines. Eswatini today joined the rest of the world in commemorating the Africa Civil Registration Day. The small claims court is operating in the Kingdom of Eswatini according to High Court Registrar. A 5-year-old is said to have accidentally bent down a 3-bedroom house at Gahlatsi under the Shiselweni region. Well, that's all the news we had for tonight. Do have yourselves a beautiful evening. Good night. Eswatini Bishop Samson Hlachago today urged pastors from different churches to